building wealth, investing, and financial independence. And that would be passive income, but with a slight twist. See, most of us already know how to make passive income with stock dividends and real estate, but very few people realize that they can make passive income with cryptocurrency. Coming in number 1, we have an interest-bearing account. Just like you go to the bank, deposit your money, earn a lovely 0.5% of interest, you can deposit your cryptocurrency throughout several exchanges and earn a preset return depending on the amount you hold. And the return is actually pretty good. For example, BlockFi pays as high as 4.5% on Bitcoin, 5% on Ethereum, and 9% on USDC. Celsius pays even more, up to 8% on Bitcoin, 7% on Ethereum, and nearly 11% on USDC. So my thought was, if I'm planning on holding the underlying cryptocurrency anyway, I may as well just earn some interest in the process. Otherwise, I'm leaving money on the table. It would be kind of like choosing to keep your money in cash under a mattress instead of moving it over to a bank. The second option for earning passive income with cryptocurrency is called staking. Now, it's important to mention that with cryptocurrencies, since there's no central authority overseeing all activity, these transactions are processed in 2 ways. One is proof of work, and the second is proof of stake. Proof of work relies on computing power to solve complex algorithmic problems that reward users with cryptocurrency. These are typically the intensive mining rigs you see set up in large warehouses, people's basements, and yes, you could make a lot of money doing this, but it is all depending on the price increase of the cost of energy. Although the problem with proof of work is that it's energy intensive and it could take a lot of money to start up. And as algorithms get more and more difficult to solve, it could take longer and longer to get paid. So that is what takes us to the second passive income solution, and that would be proof of stake. Like I mentioned, since there's no central authority overseeing every transaction, there needs to be a checks and balances in place to make sure everything is okay. As a way for no one person to have central authority over the entire system, users can stake their cryptocurrency to receive rewards without having to do the computing power to mine the cryptocurrency itself. By doing this, transactions are validated by users who deposit their cryptocurrency on the network, and in the way the amount you stake translate into the amount of votes you have on the blockchain. When the majority of those votes all move in the same direction, the transaction is confirmed and those who stake their coins get reward. And in this case, the more money you stake, the higher the reward. You could also join what's called the staking pool, which combines forces and then shares the collective reward of placing more money within the network. In the most simple form, just imagine staking as though you're putting money into a CD for 1 to 24 months. And in return for what you get is a slightly higher yield. After that, we have a third way of making passive income, and that would be lending. Under this business model, you would lend your cryptocurrency to someone else who pays you back with interest over a set period of time. Unlike other loans that are unsecured and the borrower risks nothing in the event that they don't pay it back besides ruining their credit score, cryptocurrency lending is sometimes backed by the borrower's own cryptocurrency. So, in the event they fall behind, you could get some or all of your money back. It would be no different than me wanting to borrow $10,000 from you, but as the cause in the agreement and the order to do that, I need to lock away $10,000 of my own Bitcoin just in case something goes wrong and you need to get your money out. Now, if lending isn't quite your thing, you can always take a different approach and offer liquidity. Now, even though it sounds kind of complicated, the premise is rather simple. At any given point, there's an unequal amount of buyers and sellers out there willing to exchange or trade their cryptocurrency for another cryptocurrency, or sometimes just selling it for cash. But the issue is that there's not always a ready and willing buyer at the precise time that you want. Or even worse, this gets significantly more difficult if you want to exchange one coin for another, like Ethereum for Fluffy coin. So as a solution, a liquidity pool is born. This allows investors to buy, sell, exchange different pairings of cryptocurrencies at any day, at any time, on a moment's notice, no matter what the price is, without having to wait for a buyer or seller to appear. In this example, you can provide liquidity by depositing $500 worth of Ethereum and $500 worth of Shiba Inu into one platform, allowing other investors to easily exchange their cryptocurrencies between pairings and paying a small fee in order to do so. Where does the fee go, you might ask? Well, since you are the one providing liquidity between the pairings, that fee goes to you over and over and over again, depending on how many people use it. With Uniswap, for example, they'll charge a 0.0% fee on each trade, which is proportionally distributed amongst liquidity holders and could add up to a significantly ridiculous return. However, there's a downside that by becoming a liquidity provider, there's a risk of what's called impermanent loss, which is where you would have made less money by investing in liquidity pool than you would have by just holding onto the cryptocurrency to begin with. So overall, in terms of my own thoughts, personally, I think these strategies are worth exploring, but for most people, simply staking or holding your coins in an interest-bearing account would be the easiest approach. While maximizing the amount of work and minimizing the risk involved, of course nothing is risk-free and there's always a chance you could lose your money. Although to lessen those odds, it's always a good idea to use multiple exchanges, spread your money throughout as many different places as possible, and insulate yourself into the chance that something might happen to one of them. But as a way to earn a little bit more money without being actively involved, all of these I think are at least worth looking into. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button.